Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the annual Chill Streams. Guys, I'm super excited to be bringing back Chill Streams. Jamigi, I see that you're in here. How's it going? I'm waiting for my phone to catch up because I'm looking at chat on my phone. Okay, it's good. Uh, we have a couple things I want to get into watching. I have a couple videos already set up on my Chill Stream playlist. A new Rockstar's made a ton of videos talking about the MCU. This was one I was very interested in checking out. It's called Avengers Secret Wars Killing Marvel Heroes like in Multiverse of Madness. So we're going to watch this one. There was an Agatha trailer breakdown Easter egg and details one. There's Marvel's X-Men universe designed to self-destruct, which I'm excited to see what that's all about. And then it says the other one that New Rockstar's made is What Should Marvel Do with Kang? Sneak peek. And then the other one is Breaking. Tom Holland gives Spider-Man 4 update in the future. So we're gonna watch all these ones. Let me know how you guys feel about the videos that I chose for today. We'll probably also search around, maybe look at some news about kind of the Spider-Man 2 DLCs. I know probably some people made some videos about predicting when we're gonna get the DLCs and maybe what the DLC is gonna be about. So we'll probably search a lot of that stuff up. But I just want to say welcome. It's definitely been a minute since I've done these. I've been super busy. I almost forgot I had this today because I'm super focused on tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm going to be meeting Charlie Cox tomorrow at GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm doing that tomorrow. Super excited about that. Cannot believe I'm meeting him. I actually yesterday spent all day pretty much putting my cosplay together to meet him. So super excited. Cannot wait. I'm starting off wearing my 10th Doctor David Tennant costume cosplay. I'm gonna be wearing that when I get to the convention. I have to leave at like 5 in the morning to get there because it's a pretty long drive. And then I'm gonna, because there's a Doctor Who meetup, and I'm gonna go do that. And then from there, I'm gonna get changed and get my photo with him at two. I think it's at 2:30. So super excited for tomorrow. This is actually my first big convention. But let's get into this. I'm super excited to watch this video. Like I said, I've been holding off on watching a lot of new Rockstars videos because I knew we were going to be doing this kind of today. So let me see if this is connected and ready to go. Okay, let's do. I don't know. Oh, that's why my thing isn't plugged in. That probably would help. I was playing Call of Duty a little bit earlier, so that's why it's not connected. My headset. But okay, I think we're good now. Sick wireless headset. All right, let me know how it sounds, guys. I'm already gonna like it because I know I'm gonna like it.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Avengers Kang Dynasty just made a big shift by hiring a new writer, the screenwriter currently working on Avengers Secret Wars, and the one brought in to launch this multiverse saga back in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and in Loki, Michael Waldron. This is a big deal. It tells us that Marvel Studios has so much confidence in the way all of this kicked off.
All right, wait a second. What's up, John? How's it going, man? The man, the myth, the legend is live. How's it going, fam? It's going, man. It's going. I just got done saying I'm meeting Charlie Cox tomorrow, bro. I'm meeting Daredevil tomorrow. Cannot wait. Super excited. I had a decision to make. It was either me meeting Najee and Yuri or me meeting Charlie. And I said, you know what? It's super expensive to meet Charlie, but this is probably going to be a once in a lifetime situation. I'm doing it. So I'm doing it. I bought my photo op. I'm going to meet him tomorrow. There's a Q&A tomorrow with Vincent, with Charlie. I'm going to be definitely talking, which I'm super excited. Bro meeting, the GOAT, massive W. Yeah, I'm going to make a video about it. I'm planning on doing I might vlog around the convention because this is like my first big convention in Ohio. Like this, apparently Ohio's convention is crazy big. With a lot of big stars like Charlie, Vincent, all of them are going to be there. So I'm going to ask questions in the panel room. So I don't know. I've yet to decide what I want to ask, but I'm just it's so surreal. I'm meeting him tomorrow. Bro, it's Charlie all day. You made the right decision. Yeah, 100%, bro. I had to meet the GOAT.
With Reed Richards' conversation with Doctor Strange about incursions in Multiverse of Madness, as well as the alternate Infinity War sequence with the Illuminati having killed Thanos, and the way Waldron has already been setting up events in Secret Wars that they need that.
Also, what do you guys feel about Michael Waldron directing Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Do we like that? He was involved in the production of Loki season 1. I don't think he was involved in season 2. He probably was, but I like the idea of that, and I like Multiverse of Madness, so I'm okay with him doing it. I'm just curious to know what you guys think about it.
that same brain to connect A to C. And since Sam Raimi is
I guess
rumored
he's
to be
writing,
the top
not
contender to direct
directing.
Secret Wars,
Yeah.
and now Destin Daniel Cretton has left Kang Dynasty, it kind of feels like Marvel wants a team of creatives who best know how to slaughter multiversal heroes while they nerd out about incursions. So, did Marvel Studios bring in a creative hitman to assassinate Wolverine, Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, and all those MCU Phase 4 and 5 heroes who didn't work out too well? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the job.
Okay. Real quick. In my defense, I like Eternals. I know not a lot of people like Eternals, but I like Eternals. So that's it. I don't like when people talk trash. They're good characters. I think that I want to see more. There's still more we can do with them, but I want to see more.
Of these screenwriters contracted by Marvel Studios is to do, because there is so much misinformation online about this and what Waldron really did on Loki Season 1 and Multiverse of Madness, and I'm
What's
gonna
up,
break down
Jimmy?
what it really means that Waldron is writing both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars at the same time together.
You said I don't mind Waldron at all, but my thing is Eric Martin, rewrote most of Season 1 and handled Season 2. I think everyone agrees it should have been him, but Waldron is terrible. Isn't terrible at all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have been cool if we got Eric Martin, but it is what it is. I guarantee they'll probably get him involved some shape or form. It's still kind of early, so I don't think anything is really set in stone, but we'll just have to wait and see. Jimmy Geese just finished Final Fantasy 16. How was it? I'm not a big Final Fantasy
By
dude,
the way,
but how was it?
bit of an announcement here. I will soon be going on paternity leave because our baby is coming early, folks. You will still see me on the New Rockstars channel in some pre-taped videos that I know you're really gonna like. But coming back to cover for me is Jessica Clemens.
Yay!
You will see
I like
Jessica on
Jessica.
the
I'm
channel
excited
in the
she's
next
coming
month,
back.
along with some other familiar faces. So please show them the love and support that you've always shown me. And I cannot wait to watch their videos at 4 a.m. every night as I try to get my baby to fall back asleep. Okay, Marvel brought in Michael Waldron to take over scripting duties of Avengers Kang Dynasty after parting ways with the previous screenwriter Jeff Loveness, which
Yeah, I'm
we were all
glad.
pretty
I'm
bummed to see because
glad
he's
Jeff
also a great
Loveness is
writer
getting
who I
out.
think really did the best he could with Quantumania, and I hope someday we can read whatever his treatment or his outline or his script draft was for
It was
Kang
good for
Dynasty.
me.
But like
It
Jeff Loveness,
was
Michael
better
Waldron first
than
came
Spider-Man.
into Marvel from the Rick and Morty writers room.
I had to pause after you said that, Jamigi. You said it was good for me. It was better than Spider-Man 2. That's a big ass statement. I don't know about all that, but if you think that, that's great, but I don't know about all that.
And Waldron became head writer of Loki Season 1, but he left before the end of the season was fully finished, and we later found out some of the
Yeah,
rewrites
Eric
were overseen by
Martin.
Eric Martin, who is the head writer for Loki Season 2. Now, there has been some very silly griping on social media about Michael Waldron, mostly from people who I guess are mad about some parts of Multiverse of Madness.
I
And
love
some claim that Eric Martin
Multiverse
should
of
get these
Madness.
writing jobs, and not Michael Waldron. Can we please just stop it? Look, Eric Martin is clearly a really good writer. He's gonna get a lot of work from Marvel and everywhere from here forward. We were not in the Loki Season 1 writers room. We don't know who wrote what, who shaped what.
That's
but
true.
We do know that room worked really well together and came up with some brilliant shit. In the Loki Assembled documentary, there are some interesting shots of Waldron
yeah, I'll
standing in
watch
front of a
it.
dry erase board outlining early versions of episodes. And in that foreground, that's Eric Martin. But running the room, clearly making notes on the board, is Waldron. Though ultimately this was a team effort, and
Yes.
all of these guys know how to collaborate together to craft a story and had to pull away alone for a few weeks to crank out great drafts on their own. That's what Eric Martin did when Marvel nuked his episode 5 idea for Loki Season 2. He basically had a weekend to just come up with a new script draft, and what episode 5 ended up being was actually pretty good. But that
They were
professionalism,
good.
that writer's room collaborative energy sharpened when these particular writers worked on Rick and Morty, and Dan Harmon kept them in that room late into the night to do rewrite after rewrite. These guys just kind of had to figure out how to keep old man Harmon sitting in the corner shooting down all their story ideas and saying, "Man, we already saw that in an episode of Doctor Who 30 years ago."
It's cool, Rick. Doctor Who and this mother.
And that experience transformed all of them, as well as Jessica Gao, who wrote Pickle Rick before she was head writer of She-Hulk, into some of the most inventive solution finders in this industry. So it wasn't like Rick and Morty sophomore.
There's a
code
free
jokes
demo
burped into a
of it.
microphone
I'll
with
have to
Justin
check it
Roiland,
out.
but
I'll
the
watch the trailer
geniuses
and see if I'm
behind the scenes of
interested.
Rick and Morty,
But
who figured out how to unpaint themselves out of any corner. Marvel was right to recruit these guys. These collaborative skills are critical, especially for the way Marvel Studios operates. When you read MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios by Joanna Robinson,
I have
Dave
not
Gonzalez,
read
and Gavin
that,
Edwards,
nor
it
do
is
I
clear
feel like
that
I
the
want
studio
to.
needs creative collaborators like the Russo brothers, who also worked with Dan Harmon in episodes of Community, screenwriters like Marcus
Love
and McFeely.
Community.
And contrastingly, when solo auteurs come into Marvel
It's
Studios
great.
and aren't as
I
effective
recommend
at
it
rolling
for
with the
people that
punches,
haven't
things
watched it.
like their final battles already being previs out for them, or a second unit director knowing how to shoot stunt action better than they do, you can kind of see some friction forming. Or directors like Taika Waititi just saying, I don't really care what you do with it. So you know what? Bad habits have a bad habit of sticking around. Fighting them is hard, but transforming something like doom scrolling from a bad habit to a good one is easy, thanks to Fume. Fume makes it possible to
Bro, Jamigi, I'm right there with you. I'm super excited for The Boys season 4. I actually really want to do rewatches over on my Patreon. I just got done with, well, I don't know if anybody knows this, which I'm assuming a lot of you guys do if you guys watch Invincible, but we're not getting episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 until next year. I found that out last night when I was waiting for episode 5 to do my reaction, because I got done last night for Patreon reacting to episode 4. And I'm also doing rewatches for season 1 for a lot of people that haven't watched season 1 yet, so that way they can, binge watch that and then watch season 2. I've been like bouncing back between both. And I have episode 7 and 8 finale of season 1 I'm waiting to drop this Sunday. But I'm officially done with season 2 until next year. I think I heard that we're going to be getting episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 sometime in November of next year. I hope we're not waiting that long, but even if we are, it's going to be worth it because they're cooking over at Amazon, so I'm not too worried about it. But I definitely want to start doing rewatches of The Boys seasons 1, 2, 3, and also rewatch Gen V before season 4 comes out. That's a lot of watching. That's like, I think The Boys has 7 episodes each season, so that's a lot. It's kind of a lot, but I really want to try to aim for it before next year. I'm also not quite sure if we know what month The Boys season 4 is coming out. Let me know if anybody heard anything about it. I really hope it's not January or February. I hope it's deeper in the months, so that way I can get going with that, because I'm also going to be starting Percy Jackson and the Olympians over on the Patreon come December 20th, and I'm also going to be starting Avatar: The Last Airbender book 1, 2, and 3. I want to do like rewatches of that before the live action in February of next year. So there's a lot of things coming to Patreon. If you guys are interested, like I said, it's only $5 a month. We're cooking over there. We're doing a lot of stuff over there, and we're only going to get more stuff over there. So definitely always, like I said, link in description. It's in my link tree. Definitely go check it out. But yeah, I'm going to skip this because they have their little sponsor. So let's skip this. Right here.
Stars to save an additional 10% off your order today. So when you look at these behind the scenes images from the writer's room of Loki season 1 and you try to Zapruder who's writing what, don't worry about that. Just look at the joy shared between these writers and the creative chemistry of a group of writers figuring out a great story. And speaking of that story, look closely at the notes on this dry erase board. I love it. Waldron structured the outline in a circle using Dan Harmon's didactic story structural episodic outline structure that he forces every episode of Rick and Morty to abide by. And this is outlined in an alternate episode 1 of the Loki series, in which Loki steals all the Infinity Stones, he acquired the throne of Asgard, and then he gets infected by the thought that none of it is real and returns to the TVA. That destiny of Loki acquiring his throne was always in the DNA of the show. In the back of the minds of these writers, Eric Martin brought Loki full circle at the end of season 2, and Waldron always wanted to go there. And now, in the MCU, he has a Loki on a throne. Now, we should be clear, these guys are talented writers.
Also, in the future, I do want to get another Loki cosplay. I already did the TVA cosplay of Loki, like the TVA agent version, not like the TVA variant version he had in season 1. So eventually I want to get that final costume where when he has his horns and stuff and he has like a nice garment on. I want to get that costume. I think Sim Cosplay has it already. What's your opinion? The Marvel's post-credit scene. Post-credit. I'm trying to think the difference between post and end. Post. I think end credit was the other thing, right? Or was it vice versa? Okay. Well, if we're we'll actually talk about that in a minute, Jamigi, because there's a video talking about spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen the Marvels, but there's a video that they made about Beast, and I think that was the post credit, not the end credit. I think, if I'm correct, was what was it? I think it was Kamala going to recruit Kate Bishop for the Young Avengers. I loved both of them. Also, for the people that say that was shitty CGI for Beast, you don't know what you're talking about. That was perfect CGI. I gotta get that out of the way. There was a lot of people online saying, "Oh, like the CGI doesn't look good." I think people nowadays don't understand what good CGI is at this point. I really do think so. After a lot of the movies, the shitty movies that people see, I think they don't quite comprehend what good CGI is. I love that post-credit sequence. Seeing Beast, classic Beast from the 90s was badass. I don't want to hear anything. That shit was dope. I never thought they would do that. And if that means that we're going to get a classic looking X-Men team in Secret Wars, and they're going to make because clearly from what we're seeing in Deadpool 3, we have classic Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and we got classic Beast from the old Fox, universe movies. So it's possible that they're going to make, Halle Berry might be wearing her classic Storm costume from the comics. There's a chance we could be getting that, and I don't give a shit. Like, that's fire. I don't give a crap what anybody says. I love that post-credit, and I love the end credit. That movie was badass. I still will defend that movie. The Marvels was great. I can't wait to buy it on 4K. Like, I really can't. I'm super excited.
But, they're not gods of story. Loki Season 2 left quite a few things underdeveloped. Sylvie's journey in Season 2, Renslayer, Mobius's destiny. When asked about these in interviews, Eric Martin is just kind of like, I don't know, we didn't write it. I think the strength of a writer is coming up with a story that is so good that when you first watch it, you don't really care.
Yeah, I want this cosplay.
It shows that they know what the priorities
it's so dope.
are. So what does Michael Waldron writing the next 2 Avengers movies mean for this story? Well, obviously it tells us that these movies really will be kind of like an Infinity War and Endgame style 2-part event. Kang Dynasty will end in a kind of defeat or cliffhanger. Secret Wars will resolve it with a huge battle sequence. And when you dive into what exactly Michael Waldron changed for Multiverse of Madness when he was assigned to that script, he has said in interviews that the Illuminati massacre was in his very first draft of the script. That is something he brought to the table. He cited the Space Marines massacre in James Cameron's Aliens as one of his favorite sequences. It just fills you with dread, and I totally agree. Now, when it came to which Illuminati that they were going to include in the sequence, they apparently discussed a million people, and he said that Kevin Feige ultimately handpicked who was and who wasn't on the dais. Now, later we learned from concept art and previous footage that Daniel Craig as Balder the Brave, Thor's brother, was going to be in that 7th empty chair. And with the Loki writers in Season 2 including a shout out to Balder in the World's Fair episode, I think we're going to see Balder in Kang Dynasty and or Secret Wars.
That would be dope.
So beyond that,
especially if it was Daniel Craig, I love
Waldron's role in Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. 1, Kang Dynasty is going to be a Doctor Strange-centered story, especially if Sam Raimi is coming back to direct these movies. I think Marvel is looking at their landscape and realizing, Doctor Strange is our front man. 2, the dialogue that Waldron wrote for Reed Richards to explain what incursions are, which was adapted from Jonathan Hickman's speech from the comics Reed Richards in the Time Runs Out storyline, that is going to continue to be the basis for the multiverse logic in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Like, we're gonna find out that this multiverse was destined to collide, this is on its natural course to do so, and that each character in the MCU has been unknowingly influencing that destiny. Loki, Sylvie, Peter Parker, Doctor Strange, Clea, Kamala Khan, Wanda Maximoff, they have all damaged the fabric of reality in different ways, but that it was Kang who was the one who exploited that chaos and really encouraged it. Third implication, heroes will die. Brutally. We've been assuming that Deadpool 3 is going to be a storyline like Deadpool kills the Fox universe. I think Kang Dynasty is going to build on that and finally show Kang slaughtering Marvel heroes from past eras. In Quantumania, he referenced that he had killed Thor with a hammer. We need to see that happen. I think Kang's going to take down all the big heroes from the past. Maybe past Peter Parker. Maybe a past Daredevil, who might have been a bit too handsome. And I'm not talking about their necks being snapped by the Scarlet Witch. I'm talking about what Scarlet Witch did.
Yeah, that was violent, bro.
When
that scene happened, I was not prepared.
Spaghettification, my friends, the way Victor Timely was again and again and again. Kang already promised that he would do something like this, but he described it this way.
And I will burn them out of time for what they've done to me.
And fourth implication, Loki is coming back, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Waldron said in interviews that while writing Multiverse of Madness, he was desperate to
Has
try to get...
anybody thought we weren't going to see Loki again? I knew we were going to see him, but, like, it won't be until, like, Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars. Like, we're going to see Tom Hiddleston again. We're going to see, like, he is so involved now because he is holding these branches, like, together. He is keeping the branches alive. Without him, all goes to shit. He needs to be there to keep these branches, to keep growing and to stabilize and you know what I mean? Like he keeps everything put together. So of course he's going to be involved in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Hell, he might make little cameos as we get closer to the big event of Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Like he might show up. Whether it be his voice, him calling out messages to people, letting people know that something is coming. We're going to start seeing that at some point. I'm not sure when, but we need to expect we will see Loki in some shape or form pop up in one of these movies, whether it be little, cameos until we get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, or they just wait. It's bound to happen at some point, though. Any Marvel Legends you want? I don't know, Jamingi. There's not really Marvel Legends right now I'm actually, looking for. Because I already got, well, speaking of which, I haven't shown you guys yet, but I got this Marvel Legends when I was out for Black Friday. Hey, Bethany, how's it going? And this shows you how much I loved the Marvels. I got the Kamala Khan, the Marvels Legends figure. That shows you how much I loved this movie. Again, you guys know I wasn't a big fan of Miss Marvel. I wasn't. I didn't care for her Legends. I just didn't care. When the movie came out, I specifically said I want this movie to make me love the character, make me just want to see more of the character. It did it. I own the figure. I love this figure. It's probably the best one. I love this costume too. And I have it right here, front and center, with Captain Marvel and also Shuri. I hope that doesn't fall. I feel like it's gonna fall and it's gonna piss me off. Legends are prone to fall over a lot, so hopefully my little setup I got back there they don't all topple over. But
Loki in there. Now, this guy has more control over the story, and I think Avengers Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars will be a rescue mission for the God of Stories to relieve him of his Atlas-esque duty by ending the threat of all Kangs across the multiverse.
I love that
so
shot.
Continue to support
Seeing
me
all them
Rockstars during my paternity leave and show Jessica Clemens some love as she covers for me. She's gonna do a great job.
Good vid by, of course, Eric Voss and of course the new Rockstars. Good video. What video do we want to watch next, guys? We want to watch Agatha trailer breakdown, Easter eggs, and details. And I think the rest says you may not know. There's this one, Marvel's new X-Men universe designed to self-destruct. Do we want to watch that one? And then there's what should Marvel do with Kang sneak peek. And then there's one talking about Spider-Man 4. So which one do you guys want to watch? Let me know on the list which one sounds interesting. I kind of want to watch this Beast one and X-Men. Them talking about the X-Men design and stuff. But I'll let you guys decide what we want to watch. I see we got 5 people in here. Guys, make sure to like the stream as always. But yeah, what video do we want to watch? Do we want to talk about Spider-Man 4? Do we want to see what will Marvel do with Kang? Or do we want to watch X-Men universe designed to self-destruct? I don't know why it says that, but let me know. Marvel X-Men? All right, we're doing it. Do it.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss. And which X-Men universe is the MCU using in the Marvels, Deadpool 3, and Secret Wars? What's going on right now? We got Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer, in the post-credit scene of the Marvels, making him the 3rd known member of the X-Men from that Fox Marvel era, crossing over into the MCU after Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Hugh Jackman confirmed to return as Wolverine.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It makes me feel like this Wolverine and that Patrick, I don't know what the hell bro's name is, that plays Beast, getting their classic looks makes me feel like they're from the same universe. Like they're making the older X-Men characters, they're giving them that 90s IP, and they're dressing them like the 90s characters. I feel like that's what they're doing, which I think is a brilliant decision. What a cool way to bring them back in their classic outfits. I think that's really, really dope.
Wolverine and Deadpool 3. But while the actors are being pulled from that live-action film continuity, the look of these X-Men are definitely more vibrant and more animated than we've seen them before. So are these the same Wolverine, Professor X, and Beast? Probably not, right? But then what version are they? I recently asked Kamala Khan herself, Iman Vellani, what she thinks about this, and I did a deep dive into everything Kevin Feige has hinted about his plan for the mutants, even signs that he gave with past franchise decisions to try to figure out which X-Men universe this actually is. I'll spoil spoil the answer for you right now. It's gonna be both the best X-Men universe that we can imagine and a universe doomed to die. Okay, if we assume that the universe of the Marvel's post-credit scene with Binary and Hank McCoy is the same X-Men universe that Hugh Jackman Wolverine is coming from in Deadpool 3, which I understand is a big assumption, but let's just assume that the post-credit scene of one movie is kind of setting up the events of the next movie coming out. I think there are 4 possibilities of what universe we could be seeing here. 1, the restored X-Men OG universe. This would include the universe of the first 3 X-Men films from the aughts, plus 2014's Days of Future Past, as that movie ended by restoring that original timeline back to the original lineup, including Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, James Marsden, Cyclops, Halle Berry, Storm, and Kelsey Grammer, Beast. Second option, the X-Men 97 universe. Since the 90s Fox X-Men animated series is being brought back to Disney+,
I have to
as
go
X-Men
at the store
97,
now.
picking up right where that series left off, this universe
Why?
could
Because
be
you're
a
seeing them
live-action
talk about
adaptation
X-Men,
of the
or just you
continuity
have to go to
of
the
that
story in
series,
general?
which would really elevate the importance of that upcoming animated title. Third option, the X-Men First Class universe. Because the X-Men movies made by Fox did split into 2 different timelines of characters. So this third option would be the alter timeline following the events of First Class, and then Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix, which would include James McAvoy, Charles Xavier, Michael Fassbender, Magneto.
Which I still stand by this, but X-Men First Class is probably still one, if not the best X-Men movies of all time. I still stand by that. It's structured well. It has that classic feel of X-Men. I just like it. And I'd say out of all of them, I like X-Men First Class. Days of Future Past has grown on me. I think it's definitely better in terms of the newer ones that have come out. I did like Apocalypse at first when it first came out, but I think as I slowly have gone on, I'm not the hugest fan of Apocalypse as I once was. But I love X2. I love First Class, and I mean, I think I'm starting to love Days of Future Past, which again, when I saw it, I did not like it at all. But I think those are probably the most salvageable good, or those are probably the best ones out of all the X-Men movies. I would say that those 3 movies, quite honestly. First Class is the best X-Men film in my opinion, and it's also in my top 10 favorite comic book movies of all time. I love it. Exactly, it's great. I love Banshee, bro. He was such a cool character. Oh man, I love that sequence when he was trying to fly. Oh, it just gives me chills. That whole sequence when they're training is just so badass.
Ty Sheridan,
and again, I think that just all goes to show how good that, why am I forgetting his name? Matthew Vaughn. He's such a good director. I mean, come on, with Kingsman, First Class. He knows how to get people pumped. Kick-Ass 1. He knows how to get us pumped up and make our hearts feel for something. You know what I mean? He's just good.
Cyclops, even Evan Peters' Quicksilver. Now, I gotta say, despite Evan Peters showing up in WandaVision, I doubt that the MCU is using that universe, mostly because Nicholas Hoult was just cast as Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy.
Still don't know how I feel about that.
In this continuity, which leaves us our 4th option of what universe it is, a new X-Men universe, which would be just a new universe that combines elements of all of the above. So let's look at the evidence. So far, Marvel has only brought back film actors who played these characters.
Banshee was my goat,
yeah. So Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, and Kelsey Grammer.
Days of Future Past killing him off. I shall never forgive.
Really
exactly, that pissed me off,
the way that Halle Berry or James Marsden were. Grammer was really just in the lesser beloved 3rd film, Brett Ratner's X-Men: The Last Stand, and then he made a quick cameo at the very end of Days of Future Past. Kelsey Grammer is also known around Hollywood as, not exactly a kind of guy who will spend 8 hours a day on set wearing the mocap suit that Mark Ruffalo and Josh Brolin and Tatiana Maslany were down to wear. So the fact that they went to this effort to bring back Kelsey Grammer shows us that this studio is, for now, committed to a specific pool of talent that includes Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, James Marsden, Halle Berry, Anna Paquin, Famke Janssen, Ian McKellen, and Rebecca Romijn, maybe also Shawn Ashmore and Elliot Page. And this would make sense because that 2000 X-Men film was how Kevin Feige got his start as an associate producer, reporting to Lauren Schuler Donner, and a self-made comic book guru who snuck Hugh Jackman into his office to read comic books after director Bryan Singer banned them from the set. The Marvel's post-credit scene samples 2 different X-Men scores from Days of Future Past and from X2, X-Men United, and in Multiverse of Madness, Charles Xavier quotes his line from Days of Future Past, "Just because someone falls and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever," suggesting a connection to that continuity, at least in the way that all Peter Parker variants instinctively knew the words, "With great power comes great responsibility." And for what it's worth, when I asked Iman Vellani about this, she agreed, admitting that she hasn't been looped in on the studio's mutant plans. What X-Men universe do you think they
I love how
like,
wait a
what
second.
universe does
I love how Iman Vellani is such a fan. She's truly great. I always thought she was great. And like I said, I always thought she's perfect for the role of Kamala. She really is. I just always thought, like I said, with with the Miss Marvel show, the writing just was not good. She couldn't shine as much. But like I said, in the Marvel, she shines. It's like, the writing was a lot better for her and the family. So yeah, like I said, she seems like such a nice person, and she's truly is a fan at heart, like we are, and she wants to deliver the best product, as possible for us fans. She knows how it is. So I really, really appreciate that. Um, Theron, hey, how's it going? How are you?
Take place in.
The first 3 films, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kelsey Grammer, that only makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did have. Is it 838? They did have like old Charles Xavier in that one, but he didn't have his like yellow wheelchair in the films.
Right.
So it could be a different universe, but also maybe.
Yes, I do
got the
remember you.
wheelchair
How's it
later.
going?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Any X-Men universe is fine.
It's been a minute.
I was gonna say any X-Men universe is fine with me, but I still refuse to watch Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is
Kelsey
not
Grammer
good.
is just such a specific pull. Like they could have pulled
I know.
Patrick Stewart back or Marsden back in, but they're like, no. We want you to think about Days
And
of
they
Future
were
Past.
flexing on us with
Yeah.
that CG. I was very impressed when I saw the little.
See, she
Yeah.
agrees. She knows.
Which
It was
feels like
impressive.
they used some of the technology that they use on Ruffalo for Hulk, but they did it
Yeah.
specifically to get like a comic accurate Beast, Just
If
that
only you guys could have been in the theaters with me when I saw that. I was like, no fucking way. I was like, he looks incredible as Beast. I was like, oh my god, they really did it. I was never expecting Marvel would do it, and they did it. That's how you know. Again, Marvel didn't have to do that, but they did that. That's why I love Marvel so much, and I will always defend Marvel, because they gave us that. Think about that. You know what I mean? Is that they gave us a classic looking Beast. They're giving us classic Wolverine, Hugh Jackman coming back. They are cooking, and we don't even understand. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's only going to get crazier. It's only going to get better, and I will stand with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is, you know what I mean? I just got to say that.
out of curiosity, Beast mentioned Charles Xavier. Who do you think would be Charles in this reality? Would be Stewart or McAvoy? Stewart seems to make more sense.
Stewart. I think Stewart makes sense.
Yeah.
Given Beast's age and he's already in beastie mode,
Yeah.
I think Stewart. So hopefully Ian McKellen's somewhere in there too.
Right.
And then Halle Berry pops up. I think it'd be a jump scare if we get Anna Paquin too, but we'll see.
Jump scare. And don't blame Iman for not watching Dark Phoenix. I know none of you did either. But Feige also might be a bit limited by other things when it comes to declaring his MCU X-Men universe as the same exact universe as those films. In my deep dive investigation on this mystery, I broke down how legal contracts with legacy producers might force Marvel to credit and pay people like Bryan Singer for any title that's too connected to that film continuity, which might even include anything with X-Men specifically in the title, which is why an argument could also be made for this live action continuity being connected to something that predated Bryan Singer, the X-Men 97 universe. Because yes, we've all seen
With
how
the
Beast was
designs.
redesigned
Yep.
with an appearance closer to that of the animated series.
It's
Smaller
spot
head,
on.
His underbite fangs.
Like, let's not lie. Like, this is spot on. I see no complaints. There's no complaints. This is the essence of peak. This is it. If you look up peak in the definition, you find this. Simple as that. Like,
He wears no shirt,
Come
only
on.
blue pants with a yellow trim. Meanwhile, Wolverine in Deadpool 3 will be wearing a classic blue and yellow suit, which was very, very important to all the people involved. Charles in Multiverse of Madness dressed as he did in the 90s animated series. Green jacket, blue striped tie, and he floated in the classic yellow hover chair. And while we were talking about music, the music the MCU has twice used to announce mutants,
Yep,
Charles in
90s.
Multiverse of Madness and Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel, was Ron Wasserman's theme from the 90s animated series. My favorite gifts I've ever gotten are the things I use all the time. A water bottle I like,
Okay,
or a comfy
skipping.
hoodie I can wear when it's
I know this is where the, what do you call it, the sponsor comes in. All right, let's go right here.
Ash Crossan asked Kevin Feige about his mutant plans on the red carpet for the Marvels. He diverted to X-Men 97.
But I know how much you love the freaking X-Men. Is there anything you can say about how delicate that is to you and kind of what the plan is? When are we going to hear something?
I don't know if it's delicate. It's super exciting, but the X-Men are as solid and rich and great a concept and characters as exist. The return of the animated series next year, which we're very excited about. And I
Yes.
saw some new final episodes today, which really bring you back to that to that core of who the X-Men are and that soap opera that those characters represent. And then in live action, people will see, perhaps soon.
Ah, did you see it? He shifted. He said, and then in live action. And you kind of sense in that a distinction in his mind between animation and maybe what he might consider to be the real thing. Not that I agree with that way of looking at it, but that might just be his way of explaining it to anybody watching. Feige clearly values the themes of what the 90s X-Men animated series represented, but not necessarily the exact logical continuity. And the fact that Kevin Feige has used film actors to voice the characters in What If tells us that for him, the voices and the appearances of the actors is a pretty important part of what he considers to be canonicity. And he's not wrong. General movie audiences who go watch these things are always going to first associate who is playing and voicing these characters more than like a random Easter egg someone mentioned in a scene that 10% of us caught. I think we also have to look at Kevin Feige calling his live action MCU 616. That is very telling because it shows us that he considers his films and shows to be an adaptation of the 616 universe from the comics, which is a different medium in his eyes. He is pulling from those comics the most cinematic elements and making a live action version of them. I don't know if he
I still
considers the
can
comics
never
to be
get
as
over
equally weight bearing as the
how good Josh Brolin looks as Thanos. Like, did you guys see that shot in Infinity War? Like, look at this. It's just so good. You know what I mean? Like,
live action
it's
version
peak.
of them. I don't know if he considers the comics to be as equally weight bearing as the films. This is to contrast the way Lucasfilm approaches all of their media. Every episode of Bad Batch is as canon bearing as a live action Star Wars film or as a printed
Go watch
comic.
Bad
At least
Batch
it's
if
the
you
case
haven't watched
since
Bad
Disney
Batch
bought
already. It's
Lucasfilm,
really,
and
really
been kind
good.
of a frustrating thing for a lot of comics writers. Over at Marvel, Kevin Feige doesn't want this. He doesn't want to have to be beholden to continuity's other storytellers set. He wants more control. And we see this when we watch a movie, we think he's going to adapt a comic word for word, but he ends up using it as just kind of like an inspiration to build his own version of reality. That's what we saw with the Illuminati in Multiverse of Madness. It seemed like the Illuminati, but it ended up doing its own thing, which is why I think we are really looking at a fourth option of what X-Men universe we're looking at, a new X-Men universe in which Marvel Studios is going to pull elements from all past X-Men continuities. The beloved cast members from the original films, the vibrant costumes and the soap opera
That's what I'm
vibes from the
saying.
animated series, and yes, Iman, maybe even the way Dark Phoenix began to move away from the X-Men moniker toward mutants. And they're going to build an entirely new X-Men reality out of that the studio can control fully. But I don't think that's what X-Men are always going to be in the MCU. This plan, at least in the multiverse saga, starting with Deadpool 3, is just a temporary task force. So we're looking at the difference between two different things, an X-Men task force and a mutant academy or a mutant community. By casting all these past era X-Men, this is not a universe that Marvel is building for the distant future. Patrick Stewart is 83, Hugh Jackman is 55, Kelsey
Yeah.
Grammer is 68. This is a temporary transition universe that's being built for one event, Avengers Secret Wars. This is a short-term task force headed for a one-time epic reunion, and it's gonna be awesome, but it's not gonna last. This isn't gonna be the mutant community that we hang out with for 10 years after that. Director Sean Levy has said that
Wait a
Deadpool 3
second.
will not retcon Wolverine's death in Logan, and I think that
I'll
the
wait
only way
until
that they can
after.
do
I
that
could've
without
swore I saw
confusing everyone is
something.
by constructing a new, separate universe filled with X-Men, played by most of the same actors we know these characters to be, but wearing the colors that Kevin Feige always felt the X-Men deserve to have. It's kind of like the X-Men Dream Universe. It's gonna have all the 2000s era excesses and ego, Wolverine's brutality, but also mixed with like Storm's theatrical bellowing monologues. It's gonna be the kind of universe that we both love, but we're also gonna be okay to see like Deadpool take a wrecking ball to it, even down to fighting Wolverine on the ruins of a 20th century Fox logo.
Fox
Because this
logo.
temporary transition X-Men universe must end. These legacy stars do not want to populate a new fertile community of mutants to play out all that soap opera drama that Kevin Feige identified, but we need that. We need the slow burning interpersonal conflicts, the rivalries, the romances, the mysteries, the friendships, the comings of age. We need a mutant academy. And for that, you need a new Logan. You need a new Charles. You need a new Hank McCoy. And you need to say goodbye to any universe where those characters exist as other actors.
Yeah.
But you also need the best goodbye possible. That's what Secret Wars is. So whatever this new universe is that's being built in the Marvels and Deadpool 3, I think it's gonna end up being dissolved by an incursion, by Deadpool, maybe Burt, maybe merged into Battle World, and then those characters will go home, just as Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield did. The door will be closed, and the multiverse saga will come to an end, and then Feige will build a new mutant saga around the younger mutants like Kamala
Ooh.
Khan. So in total, we
I
will
would be
have
okay with
Infinity
that, too.
Saga, we're in the multiverse saga, and we'll get the mutant saga. Now, in 2024, New Rockstars is actually going to embark on a weekly breakdown series of all X-Men movies. So please subscribe to this channel.
That is pretty cool that they're gonna do breakdowns for the X-Men Marvel movies. Or not X, yeah, for the X-Men movies, like all of them. Like that's pretty good because I mean, I think that's what people need, especially if they're going to pull from anything or they're going to pull from different, you know, universes or the Fox universe and stuff like that. They're going to like mention things like from these movies. It's nice that New Rockstars are going to break them down for people that don't want to watch the movies, which I definitely recommend. I mean, you know, I might say that like I have a certain like for certain X-Men movies, but you should watch them all. You know, you might have different opinions than I do about some films, so definitely check them out if you haven't done so already. But guys, what do we want to watch next? We want to watch what should Marvel do with Kang sneak peek or Breaking Tom Holland gives update on Spider-Man 4? Which one do we want to watch next? Let me know. I'm actually while you guys decide that, I'm actually going to open up a new tab and look up Spider-Man. I'm actually curious if anybody made any videos on Spider-Man 2. 7 villains teased for Marvel Spider-Man 3. Okay. Okay. I hate when you find stupid videos like this. Insomniac is dead. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is disgusting woke propaganda. Yeah, like shit like this pisses me off. And you have people like that doing shit like that. Like it's so dumb when people make videos like that. But we could also watch that too by Caboose and talk about 7 villains teased if you guys want to watch that for Spider-Man 3. Or like I said, we could watch one of these new Rockstar videos. Guys, let me know. We got 3 people in here. I'll let you guys decide. I'm honestly I'm not really quite sure which one I want to watch, but I wouldn't mind watching the Kang one. Them talking about Kang, but I'll let you guys decide what we want to watch. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. Then I might decide for us. I think we might watch the Kang one. Actually, Barry, let's take a break from the whole new Rockstars, and we will watch this video by Caboose. We'll just
Okay,
watch
so
it.
Marvel Spider-Man 2 has been out for quite some time now. We're well past that 1 month mark since the game had come out. A lot of people have had their time to play through the game, to really enjoy the game, let everything sink in. But now that the game has been out for quite some time, you know, now that everybody has had a chance to play through it and enjoy it, we're all starting to look ahead. We're wondering, is Marvel Spider-Man 2 going to get some sort of DLC? We're wondering
We know it
what's
is,
next for the
but
franchise.
when is it?
What could we expect from even a Marvel Spider-Man 3 in the future? We know it's inevitable. They're going to make a 3rd game. It's just a matter of when. They're probably not going to announce it for a little while now. Obviously, the Wolverine game
Cannot wait for that
what is
game.
immediately up next from Insomniac.
Also, guys, when we get any more, my main focus over on the gaming channel is anything Wolverine news. So if you guys hear anything, send it to the Discord. Let me know. But I'm gonna be covering everything, with Marvel Spider-Man. With Marvel's Wolverine going forward. Like any kind of like news we get, teaser trailers, TV spots, whatever. I'm gonna be covering it. I'm also thinking about covering the Game Awards coming this December. I want to cover it because, you know, Spider-Man 2 was nominated for a whole bunch of stuff. I want to cover it over on the gaming channel, so stay tuned for that as well. We could possibly get a teaser trailer for Marvel's Wolverine for the Game Awards. You never know. There was rumors that we were going to get it, so it might happen. But either way, expect me to definitely be covering more Marvel's Wolverine stuff when news starts, you know, coming down the pipeline. But another thing I want to talk to you guys about is I'm also going to be covering the GTA 6 trailer on Tuesday. Apparently, it's going to be dropping Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So I'm probably going to get up super early just to get everything set up on my layout side to cover that over on the gaming channel. Because I'm a big GTA dude. I mean, come on, I think we all played GTA 5 when we were younger. Hell, I dabbled in a couple of other ones before GTA 5, but GTA 5 was my GTA. You know what I mean? So I definitely am pretty excited to see what they do for GTA 6. And also, if you guys know what I'm referencing when I say GTA 6, I want to play GTA 6. It's that one dude that went up at like, I forget, like during Gamescom or whatever, got up and just started rambling on about how he wanted GTA 6. That funny meme. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do for GTA. I'm excited. How they push the needle forward and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be streaming that game though over on the gaming channel. I don't know about all that because, as you all know, GTA can get pretty violent. But I don't know. We'll see if you guys want to see me stream GTA, let me know because I could start doing that. I also have the new Call of Duty. I've been playing multiplayer team deathmatch. If you guys want to see me play Call of Duty over on the gaming channel, let me know because I'm always open for suggestions. So if you guys want to start seeing me do stuff like that over on the gaming channel, let me know. I actually need some ideas to put out some content over on the gaming channel, so let me know.
Insomniac, but I wanted to take the time here to talk to you guys about 7 villains that have been teased for Marvel Spider-Man 3 or in general for the future of the franchise if they do end up announcing a DLC of some sort for the game, which is highly likely. I think there's most likely going to be a DLC for Marvel Spider-Man 2. There's already plenty of teases. We're going to go over all that here in today's video. So let's start off with an easy one, and this one isn't technically a villain, I know, okay? She is an anti-hero, but we saw her here in Marvel Spider-Man 2. We can expect to see her at some point again in the future, and that is Yuri Watanabe, or as we now know her, as Wraith. In the comics, you know, she does kind of become an anti-hero, but she starts off as an adversary for Spider-Man, and that's sort of the path that we lead down here in this game. They butt heads, they go toe-to-toe. Inevitably, they're on the same side, but there are still some things there that Spider-Man doesn't agree with, and I imagine we're going to see a bit more of that when we see more interactions with these characters in the future. And this one is a bit more obscure, and I wouldn't say this one is absolutely 100% confirmed, but I feel like they've referenced
Morbius?
And talked about this character enough to the point where this is certainly a villain that they can utilize in the future, and that's Dr. Morgan Michaels, or he is also known as Morbius. You know, Dr. Morgan Michaels was a character that we actually interacted with and worked with in the first Spider-Man game. You know, he helped develop the cure for the Devil's Breath. He doesn't pop up in Marvel Spider-Man 2. However, when you're searching through Connor's house, when you're trying to find out if he's become the Lizard, what's going on with Kirk Connors, you can actually see that Kirk Connors was studying a molecular mechanisms of genetic recombination by one Dr. Michael. So clearly, you know, there's some hints, there's some references in here in this game that Dr. Morgan Michaels is still out there, that his research is being used. So obviously, they want to remind you about this character. They want you to know that he exists. And again, it's a character that they can definitely turn into the villain Morbius if they wanted to. Moving on, this is another one that's a bit rooted in speculation. Now, we all know that there are some hints out there about a potential Daredevil DLC. Brian Intihar was teasing...
Speaking of which, you see this outfit? That's what I'm wearing to Steel City Con. That's what I've been putting together. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts now. Because it's the same exact material that he wore in Season 3. I have because I box. I'm a boxer. Or at least I do it for fun. I have the wraps, like the black wraps, but I want to get the ropes today. I actually want to get rope today and do that, which I don't know. It's going to be a little harder to self wrap it at Steel City Con, like be in the corner just wrapping rope. Shit will look weird. So I don't know if I'm going to be bringing the ropes because, like I said, I'm not wearing that outfit right away. I'm doing a quick change before I get my photo with him because, like I said, I'm wearing my 10th Doctor Who costume. So initially when I get there for the Doctor Who meetup. So it sucks because, like I said, I don't think I'll be able to do the wraps because you can't pre-wrap that rope like that. You just can't do it. You just have to keep wrapping it until you find it nice, which sucks because, like I said, I would love to rock the ropes, but in all, Daredevil doesn't start with those in Season 3. He gets them towards the end of the season, so you guys get the gist. I'm going to be rocking that outfit. Super excited. It's going to be fun.
Something for a little while there. You know, the Nelson and Murdoch sign was missing. There was an eviction notice, and now the sign is back in there after a recent patch. The eviction notice has been taken off. Brian Intihar even tweeted saying, I guess they paid their rent. There's even hints and Easter eggs in this game that Spider-Man knows Nelson and Murdoch. He is aware of their existence. I mean, he makes reference to them when you do that Sandman side quest. And of course, with Daredevil comes the hand. Some people actually speculate that there is a huge Easter egg in Marvel Spider-Man 2 of a hidden room that may be referencing the hand. This may be the hand Spider-Man's secret hideout. It just popped up out of nowhere. Somebody found it in the open world. There's a weird red flag outside, a flashing red light on the inside of the room, a random symbol that nobody can decipher as to what it could be for. There's guns and swords laid out. So again, a lot of people are speculating that this most likely has to do with the hand, and there's potentially going to be a Daredevil DLC on the way, or at least maybe if we get to a Marvel Spider-Man 3, we're going to see some other Marvel heroes start to pop up, specifically with our boy Daredevil.
Which would be cool. I've been wanting the Daredevil game for a while now.
If you scroll down and hit that like button on the video right now. All right, next up, all you guys remember the really fun side mission where you're chasing around those drones. For me, this did a great job at showcasing how much fun you can have with the web wings. You're essentially Superman when you're playing this side quest, chasing around these drones, staying in the tunnel, slipping through buildings sometimes. It was quite a bit of fun. And at first, this side quest is super confusing. When you catch these drones, it always matches you to a random person. And at first, I was like, what is going on here? Why is Kraven tracking just a bunch of random nobodies? And then as you started to do more of them, well, with me, it inevitably clicked. Oh my goodness, he's tracking Chameleon, who is disguising himself as different random people. Chameleon, obviously, in the comics, is canonically Kraven's half-brother, and it looks like they went with that exact storyline here in this game. Chameleon, I believe,
a side mission. That's what I meant. It's a side mission in Spider-Man 2 where you have to you come across Chameleon's hideout. And of course they're hinting towards him probably being a side villain in Spider-Man 3, of course. Which is really, really cool that, we now know Chameleon is on the way, and that's what Kraven was doing when he was tracking down people looking for his brother. I thought that was cool.
Believe was also a villain that was teased before in the first Spider-Man game. I think Peter makes mention of an imposter that was dressing up as him at one point. But nevertheless, after you capture all of these drones, inevitably you are led to a condo. And this actually ends up being the secret base of operations for Chameleon. And he was actually hoping at this point that it would be Kraven who was arriving. Kind of like a hunting the hunter sort of thing. Clearly, Chameleon is not there. Spider-Man says, okay, I gotta get out of here. And then it is revealed Chameleon was spying on us the entire time, and he ends up saying, don't worry, brother, I will do what you could not. So yes, Chameleon is definitely a villain that we're going to be seeing in the future. No doubt about that. And J. Jonah Jameson is going to have a field day if this guy is dressing up as Spider-Man and committing crimes. And this is another huge villain that was teased in one of the side quests of the game. Completely blindsided me. My favorite side quest in this game, and honestly, one of my favorite reveals in superhero games. The Flame side mission starts out as you're just saving some firemen from this building. And then it inevitably reveals that Wraith is trying to stop this cult of people that all worship this guy known as the Flame. As you get deeper into the investigation, it's revealed that the Flame is the one and only Cletus Cassidy. And in my mind, I never thought they were going to go there. I thought, okay, it's cool they got Cletus in the game. Obviously with Venom in here, the symbiotes, he's a big part of that too. But I was like, they're not going to do Carnage. This is just a fun little nod to include Cletus Cassidy into this game, and that's probably it. But then Insomniac completely comes out of nowhere. At the end of the side quest, it's revealed that Cletus does have a vial of the symbiote. It starts to turn red, and he makes note that there's going to be truth and judgment and carnage. Now, myself and a lot of other people in the community hope that this is going to be something that they're saving for a DLC. I kind of would like for the whole symbiote storyline to be wrapped up within Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I don't really want to see it carried over into Spider-Man 3. I'm also just intrigued as well as to how that symbiote ended up surviving when at the end of the game we eradicate the symbiotes entirely. I think even doing something where the DLC where you fight Carnage takes place before the end of the game would be a bit weird, considering there's no mention of that whatsoever when you get to the end of the game. So maybe they'll just have to write it off that when it was in that vial, it was protected by whatever blast was emitted that got rid of all the symbiotes in the city. We'll have to wait and see on that. Definitely going to keep my eyes peeled. I am hoping though that there is going to be DLC for this game, because if we get to fight Carnage, that would be incredible. And then these last two are also very, very obvious. These are the ones that you already knew when you clicked on this video. The post-credit scene of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 shows one Norman Osborn heading to the raft to talk to his old friend. And it looks like we are set up here for a big team up with the Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Octavius says he's writing the final chapter. Some people are even speculating that we might get Superior Spider-Man. I really hope that doesn't end up happening, because I feel like that would make Spider-Man 3 way too overstuffed. And I would also just like for it to be a one-on-one between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, or maybe, you know, the Spider-Men and the Green Goblin. Some really exciting stuff there for sure. Make sure you keep it locked to this channel, subscribe, turn on notifications.
I don't know. It seems already that there's like a lot going on with Spider-Man, like Spider-Man 3, between Otto, between Norman Osborn, between, you know, Chameleon, all like they're adding a lot, and I feel like especially going forward with the story, when Otto said I'm writing the final chapter, it kind of is like, well, Peter's not being Spider-Man anymore unless months go past and then when we get into Spider-Man 3, Peter is ready to be Spider-Man again. I mean, it would make sense where like something could happen, or in that time frame, Peter could have kids, but he's starting to be Spider-Man again, and then that's when maybe Otto has a plan to kill Peter. I have no clue. There's just a lot going on. I really do hope that it isn't a Superior Spider-Man thing, like what Caboose said, because I don't want Peter being taken over again, and we kind of have another bad Spider-Man situation like we just had with him in the symbiote suit. It would just feel very repetitive if we have like Peter, like it's not really Peter because Peter's body would be in Norman's body and they do a switcheroo. I don't want that at all, and I hope that's not what we get, because it just really won't make sense. Because again, like I just said, we already had a previous bad Peter in Spider-Man 2. So I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I am excited for Spider-Man 3. I think it's going to be awesome, whatever they do. But I just hope that that's not the one thing that they're going to do, because it would just be like way too much, I feel like. Unless you never know, unless I say that and then they were able to pull it off, I really don't know. I feel like if anybody could do it, it's Insomniac. So, you know what I mean? I'm not too worried about it, but it is just, he did raise a good question about that though. Good video by Caboose. I thought that was a pretty damn good video talking about villains and stuff. Guys, I will be logging off at like 6 o'clock, or probably not even, I'll probably log off at like, maybe I'll get off at like 5:30, which is almost 5:30 now. It's like 5:23. So I think we have time for like maybe one more video, because I got to get a couple of other things done, especially if I am going to go finish up my costume. I actually want to put on my whole costume and see how it looks. So I think I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. Or I might just wait. And just see what it looks like tomorrow. I mean, part of me wants to try it on, make sure everything looks good, but I feel like I already know it's going to look good. I'm not too stressed about it. I actually decided too, I'm not going to wear my mask when I meet him. I'm actually going to be wearing my glasses, my Daredevil glasses, when we get the picture taken. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I think it'd be very funny. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I actually want to get a haircut too, so hopefully my mom can, give me that fresh cut before tomorrow. That's the plan. But I think we're gonna watch the Spy. You know what I mean? We're gonna watch the Kang one. I'm actually curious.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and while Marvel Studios has pushed a number of films,
this was made how long ago? When was this made? I thought it'd be a date on here. Actually, let me go to the drop down menu. Okay, November 26th. Okay, so today's the 31st, I believe. So this was made a couple of days ago. All right, let's do it.
Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars remain, but will Avengers Kang Dynasty remain, or will we get like a bigger Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2? How are we going to get to Secret Wars? What's the best path to take? Well, in my recent interview with Iman Vellani, she hinted at a future MCU that could tie comic storylines with elements from Deadpool 3 and Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, while neatly transitioning away from maybe Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror without sacrificing storytelling. Is there still a place for Kang in the MCU? Yeah, we think so. Iman definitely has a good pitch, and Hector and I have thoughts. That's right, because this is a sneak peek where we're taking the temperature of whatever we're watching while we head into the next episode or look ahead in the next week of Nerdum, and Hector Navarro's here. Hey Hector, how you doing?
I'm so good. I'm in my garage surrounded by my comics, so I'm the most qualified person to be here.
Yes, that's all it takes. If you're ever feeling imposter syndrome, any YouTuber out there, just put a bunch of a wall of comics
That's
or
it.
Funko Pops or toys, and then people will just know that you're an expert.
That's it.
I'm an
That's all it
expert.
takes.
That's it.
You heard it.
We really got to
Expert.
talk about this. And Hector, I know from an amazing video you made for New Rockstars breaking down this comic storyline that you really do know the Jonathan Hickman Time Runs Out storyline leading into the 2015 Secret Wars that they're seeming to adapt right now in the MCU.
A little bit. Yeah, I'm a little familiar with that comic books. Yes.
I would say a little bit or a lot of bit. That was a really good analysis that you did of it.
Thank you.
But I highly recommend everyone read those issues of comics because it is one of the best comic events that they've done. But it's complicated. There's so many moving parts to it. But just to give a, I'm not even going to bother with a summary, but it really just starts with a character named Molecule Man who is discovered to be kind of a doomsday device in every single universe that spells out its destruction.
Yeah.
So in order to prevent that from happening, we have to identify and find all the Molecule Men. Dr. Doom is involved with this, and we find out that the Beyonders were really instrumental in placing them there. The Beyonders kind of want this to happen. Is that correct, Hector?
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of complex and big ideas, but ultimately what these comic book stories mean to the characters is that you have characters like the Fantastic Four, you have characters like the Avengers, Spider-Mans, plural, get wrapped up into this, that are dealing with the ends of their realities. And at first they're trying to pinpoint the source of that. They're trying to figure out why certain parallel universes and parallel realities in this multiverse are dying and getting snuffed out. And then you've got characters like Reed Richards and T'Challa, like putting their heads together, putting their smarts together, finding the source, unraveling this mystery, but ultimately just trying to survive. These incursions is what they're called. The Illuminati is, of course, involved. Namor, the Submariner, is involved. And I'm saying all these characters, and it's like a lot of them are already in play in the Marvel movies, which is really cool. A lot of them have already hinted at this kind of stuff with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, outright saying incursions are happening, with multiversal implications. So that storyline was epic and cool and had some great moments, and it ultimately ended with the end of everything. And then it went right into this really crazy, ambitious miniseries called Secret Wars, which we know may or may not be the inspiration for the 6th Avengers film that's going to come out. So yeah, there's a lot happening. It's definitely manageable and readable if you go and read it all. But you may just be reading certain sections and meeting with certain characters and being like, what? Who's Hyperion? And then you're just going to keep reading. Like, there's just so much happening.
Yes. And we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be the 6th Avengers film or if they'll move it up to the 5th Avengers film, or if they'll just they plan on this being 2 separate events and they were going to have 2 different titles, but they're just going to retitle
We're
the
all
movie
gonna
and
die.
make it like a prelude
that's
chapter.
that's their OB
I
shirt.
want to bring in Iman
He's
Vellani though,
wearing.
because if she wasn't a famous Avenger movie star, she could be a YouTuber breaking this stuff down. That's how knowledgeable she is about how this works. And she had an amazing pitch for how they could incorporate Kang into the storyline. So you and I react to it, Hector. I think it's a really, really great take.
Seems like they're adapting Hickman's storyline, at least from an outsider's point
And
of
I've
view.
been saying what
assume
she
you're
said.
siloed out
I've
of some
been
of those
saying
conversations,
this.
but hypothetically,
That Kang is going to be the Beyonder and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the one that died in Quantumania. He's going to be the one that has the actual powers.
That's what
I've been saying this.
trying to tell everyone.
Okay. We're having a real interview right now. This is not
Okay,
even an interview.
wait.
We're just nerding out.
Okay,
on
you
this.
finish your thought, and then I'll tell you what my theories are, because I genuinely am not privy to any of these conversations.
Okay, great. So we can just nerd out on this. I love it.
Okay,
I love this.
Kang equals Molecule Man, at least in the way structurally that story works.
Yeah.
I agree.
All the different
He's
versions.
like the doomsday device of all these different realities. And then God Emperor Doom comes in to pick up the pieces and build.
I don't know about this part.
That's what I
maybe.
But I'm not in control of this franchise. What version of this are you most excited to see as a comic reader and as a fan?
Okay. So my theories, because it's like, okay, the time runs out, and like Secret Wars, it's a lot of characters and a lot of storylines, and I had to reread it twice myself, like
it's crazy,
just to understand the basis of it. So translating that into film would be near impossible, I think, without it being super clunky, and then you have so many new characters, and a lot of the new characters that are being introduced, they don't exactly exist in the comics, or they're different versions of them. So I think it would make sense for Kang to be a version of the Molecule Man, where he, like Owen Reese existing in every single universe, and there's different variants of him. We've already seen that, so that makes sense.
Yep. Check.
But also, I feel like he could be the Molecule Man and the Beyonder all at once.
That actually makes a lot of
Like,
sense, because the Beyonder.
What if
has
there
the
was a
intention.
Kang Prime, or something that had the ultimate power, and because Molecule Man absorbs the Beyonder's powers and gives it to Doom, and who gives it to Reed Richards, right? So if you like cut out a couple middlemen and it's just Kang and then maybe there's a different version of Kang that like is the main Molecule Man that's like helping. Maybe it's even like a Victor Timely type who's like kind of more innocent and wants to help Doom, and he's the one who absorbs the other Molecule Men and the Beyonders' powers, aka the big Kang, or they kill all the Kangs and they meet their big boss, and that's Kang Prime or something. That's how I see it. And then the rest of the
I'm gonna be honest. I'm cutting out all the other stuff where it's like, you could say, for instance, all of them are, you know, Molecule Man. You could say all of them are like, or at least maybe even the 4 Kangs, the Council of Kangs could be like the Molecule Man in the situation. All of them. And then we have the different other ones and all these other Kang variants could be like, you know what I mean, a whole bunch of just different versions of, you know, Molecule Man or something like that. And then you could say, like I said, I think the Beyonder is going to be the Kang that died in Quantumania that gets the powers. Because I said, once he got sucked in to the time sphere, to this time travel device, I said instantly he's going to get powers. I was like, he's not dead. I don't know why. That's why when people complain about Quantumania, saying that, oh, like they killed off, Kang died by ants. Actually wrong. He didn't die by ants. He wasn't even beaten by ants. He still got up. And he almost killed Scott. Scott was about to die. If it wasn't for Janice, if it wasn't for Hope coming in and them working together last minute, where Kang's weapons were gone, like at that point, because the ants disrupted his technology. Mind you, they were highly trained, you know, ants. They aged, you know what I mean? Like they're like 1,000-year-old ants that aged in technology and stuff like that. We have to remind ourselves that as well. He almost killed Scott if it wasn't for Hope. And then they think they killed him by him getting sucked into the device. I was like, no, you just gave him powers. He's somehow going to get the powers of the Beyonder from that, and then he's going to reign terror. Because as you know, he said he was going to burn them out of time, the ones that put him there, the ones that did it to him. And now he has abilities now, and he has the power to do so. So all in all, we think that the B's big threats are the Council of Kangs, but no. There's one big threat that we saw down in Quantumania that made that Kang, and that could be the main Kang too, that wants revenge and wants to take it out on the Council of Kangs. I've been saying this. That Kang is not dead. He's gonna have powers. I've been saying it. Mark it down on your calendar. Zach said it. If this is the first time you've heard me say it, I've been saying this. And then once it happens, I'm gonna be like, I told you guys. He got powers. He's Kang Prime. He's gonna be all these other Council of Kangs and beat the shit out of them because he said he wanted revenge. I've been saying this while we're over here thinking the Council of Kangs are the big villains because we think that this Kang in Quantumania died. I'm like, no, he's gonna be the main villain and he's gonna have powers. No, it's not. Scratch the technology. He's gonna have the powers, and that's gonna be a problem. Mark it down. That's all I'm saying.
Thing can play out the same, I think.
I love that. We have to bookmark this.
Marvel, hire me, man. Hire me, Marvel. I know my stuff.
2 weeks later, they came out and said Secret Wars was happening. So
okay,
when we start,
maybe we're manifesting something here.
Right, we're willing it. Again, wouldn't you just watch Iman Vellani running her own like Marvel Theory YouTube channel? Like
The best. Running her own studio is more like it. Let's just go ahead and give her that title whenever Kevin Feige decides to retire.
Well, it's awesome. She works. It's crazy. Iman Vellani has like involvement in her comics of the Kamala Khan's comic series. Like she gets to write stuff in there. Like, you know what I mean? Her own pages in the book, which is incredible. So, I mean, all in all, I would not be surprised if Kevin's like, yo, we need your opinions on this. What should we do here? Like, why the hell not? Which is incredible. Like, that gives me hope. One of these days, if I ever work for Marvel, I get to, like, give my opinions, give my takes. I understand this. Like, I don't understand how people don't understand the Multiverse Saga. Like, I understand. It's so clear to me. When people are like, oh, I don't understand Loki, I don't understand this, or I don't understand Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, it's pretty simple. Like, how do you not understand this? So, I don't know. Marvel, hire me. Come on.
Needs to be in the
big
brain
supporter.
trust, I think. Give her a seat at the table. Yeah, so I don't want to speak on behalf of Iman because I think she has this figured out. But really, I think she is saying to cut out a lot of the middlemen, because when you read Time Runs Out, there are so many steps.
Yes.
Of like
this level of character, who are reporting to this character, who are trying to defend against this character. So just to kind of remove all of that infrastructure and instead just kind of make it a Kang Prime, who is the Beyonder, who is using other like Kang variants as these doomsday devices, as the kind of molecule man. And just rather than saying like one character absorbs another character's power, they're all just Kangs who are doing it. It's all part of that Kang hierarchy, that dog pile, and that you use Kang Dynasty or any other title, whether it's Fantastic Four, anything, to show that that kind of, in game theory, there's a concept called the pirate game, in which like the most senior pirate tricks the more junior pirates to fighting against each other in different kind of scenarios to try to maximize his profit, his share of the buried treasure. And so you have like the Pirate King who's trying to, and that's kind of like what we can imagine Kang is applying right now. He's applying this kind of game theory and trying to play other Kangs against each other. We don't know who Kang Prime is yet in the MCU. It could be Kang the Conqueror, who gets sucked into that probability storm at the end of Quantumania, just because that paperwork in the TVA, we were able to make out that it said whereabouts of suspect unknown. So I think that's like Marvel saying he's not dead.
Not dead.
Not dead. I think it would be, I think the way Immortus, Ferroramatut, and Scarlet Centurion were introduced is like, even though there's an implied seniority with Immortus, I think they were all introduced as like equally wacky goofball Kangs.
Yes.
So I think they're going to cancel each other out. There's some other Kang Prime. I guess like what Iman is saying is that like to lead up to that Secret Wars,
I've always had a vibe too that Kang in in Quantumania was Kang Prime. I've always had that feeling in the essence that he is Kang the Conqueror, and he is going to be now the one that becomes the Beyonder as well. So while these other variants of his, which of course is the Council of Kangs, that's why they casted him out, because he was Kang Prime. He was the original. So I've always had that essence of like, that's why he wants revenge, because he is the original, and they're taking his plan, his rule. I've always thought that, and it's like, what more of him getting a revenge than him getting the powers of the Beyonder? I was like, it just makes sense, and I think it would just be so gravitating, because we all loved that version of Kang. Like, we all wanted that version of Kang to come back in any way, shape, or form. We all loved that, because that is the essence of Kang the Conqueror. He looked like Kang the Conqueror. He was Kang the Conqueror. So you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I think he is Kang Prime. So that's why I'm like, I never thought he was dead. I even said, I'm like, you guys think he's dead? He's going to have powers. He's going to become the Beyonder, and he's going to cause mayhem. He's going to want revenge. Like he said, he wants to burn him out of time. I was like, it just makes sense. So that's why it's like, there are people out here that I just feel like they just want to hate, and they don't think. And they just initially just want to hate Marvel. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I just have that essence feeling when people complain, like say, just shit on Marvel movies. I'm like, bro, it's like, you really don't care. It's like, you just want to shit on it. And it's like, you're taking, if you're one of those persons that says, okay, that Kang was beaten by ants, you're not thinking. You're not seeing the pieces it took to take down that Kang. And even then, he wasn't taken out, and he almost killed Scott. It's like, you're forgetting all that stuff. It took that many ants to disrupt his technology. Look at it that way. That's insane. You know what I mean? Highly advanced, 1,000-year-old, technologically advanced ants to take out his technology, but not take him out entirely, where he almost still killed Scott. And if it wasn't for Hope coming in at the last minute when his technology was already gone to do what they both did to him, Scott would have been dead. And then there would still been a chance of Kang still being in there, but Scott would have died. So there's always moving pieces, but when people ignore that, I automatically just want to, like, I stop watching a video that they made, because I'm like, oh, clearly you don't understand. And clearly you just came here to shit on it. It's like, you could just tell when people do that. So I don't know.
Isn't Doom yet? You need,
right.
And I think they already have the pieces of Kang. It's just, I think Marvel Studios is still unsure what's going to happen with Jonathan Majors' trial.
Sure.
I just think that would be whatever happens with
Speaking
that
of
trial,
which, trials on Monday.
To scrap all the work they've done with Kang.
So
I agree.
I don't know.
think
We'll
that
see.
when the Infinity Saga was playing out, you know, there's a lot of revisionist history
long is this
happening right
video?
now online, where people are going back and they're like, the Infinity Saga was flawless.
Okay.
Every step.
All right, we're not going to finish this because this is a long-ass video. I did not know how long this video was going to be. We might actually come back to this. Maybe I'll bookmark it, and then we'll, like, finish this video. So, guys, definitely, if you're just coming in now, and you have not watched this first half, definitely watch this first half in Chill Stream Part 1, which will be, at this point, we're gonna pick right back up with this video next Friday. So definitely, when you get the chance, watch back. You know, if you're coming in at this point, watch up to here, and then we're gonna finish it when we come back next Friday. I'm actually gonna end stream now because I got to do a couple of different things. I want to go to the gym. That's something I definitely want to get done. I have to do some laundry. Yeah, and I also want to get to bed early tonight because, like I said, I'm getting up at 5 in the morning tomorrow. So I have a long day ahead of me. I just want to say thank you. Like I said, chill streams are back. I'm excited to do these every Friday again. Thanks, Jimmy Man. I really appreciate you motivating me to continue these. You know what I mean, and just, you know, letting me know that you miss them, and that makes me know that, you know, someone wants them. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm kind of glad because around this time I have a little bit more free time to start doing these. And I'm gonna try, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it up every Friday to do these streams. Like I said, if you guys find any news, find anything, let me know. Or hell, just even save that conversation for, you know, for chill streams, or hell, send them to me to the Discord, and then we'll talk about them probably on every Friday. We'll talk about whatever news comes up, any trailers that come up. We'll watch them. We'll do whatever to them. Hell, we'll break some trailers down if some trailers come out and stuff. If you guys want to do that, we can do it. But definitely stay tuned. We're doing a lot more. Chill streams are back, and we're gonna be doing a lot more videos coming up. Like I said, there could possibly be a vlog that I end up doing tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of editing. If I choose to do a vlog for GalaxyCon, it might be a lot. So I'm gonna have my sister help me, and then I'll probably post it, if not late tomorrow. Probably not late tomorrow because I have Doctor Who, the second special that's coming out tomorrow night. But I'll probably drop it, if not on sometime Sunday. So expect it sometime Sunday or Monday. There will probably be a vlog. I definitely am going to post my picture for me meeting Charlie, like, right away. Once I get it, I'm definitely going to, like, send it, like, put it up on Discord, put it up on socials. It's going to happen. Super excited. Cannot wait. But without further ado, guys, that was the chill stream. Hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Peace.